It's Cliff Gallup time. Well. Here are my delay pedal settings. Watch the mix knob, it's over the top. The volume of the delay is set to match, if not to exceed, the volume of the original signal. So it's kind of plays an extra note for me. But at the same time, the feedback, the repeat setting is moderate. So just one single repeat. And finally, delay time, the speed setting. It should be close to the duration of 8th note. Doesn't have to be exactly 8th note, but should be pretty close. And for the rest of the video, I think I will switch this thing off so it kind of doesn't disturb us. Now, the intro. Wabam-ba-dam, wabam-ba-dam. It's a bit counterintuitive. It's not pentatonic, not major scale, something else. When playing guitar, geometry sometimes gets more important than melody or harmony. Just look at this shape. It's exactly what Cliff Gallup plays here. Sounds like the very first neo-rockabilly lick in guitar playing history, actually. And the chord is playing E7. And during the verses we don't hear much of guitar playing. Well, maybe it was there, but just didn't cut through the mix, we don't know. We definitely hear these A6-9 chords after first and second lines. My friends tried to tell me, but they were too late. So I play here 3 notes, but with delay it will be 6. And then in the third line it sounds like this. She drives me crazy, kiss me baby, don't be maybe, don't talking baby, please make up your mind. So we have here E7, D7, E7, D7, and finally, please make up your mind. Well, being absolutely honest, I didn't aim to capture the accompaniment with 100% precision, so my interpretation might be a bit loose. But what I surely did capture correctly is the final lick. So it's similar to the one which is played everywhere else, but just different notes. And this is, in the end, yet one more variation of A6-9 chord. Remember 12-bar blues progression? That's essentially it. First line 4 bars, question. Second line 4 bars, question with some variation. Third line, last 4 bars, answer. Our first question sounds like this. It can be divided into 2 licks. First one is mainly an arpeggio of A6 chord. And this note here I play with the Bixby. Normally here it would be a downstroke, but because of Bixby I've changed it to an upstroke. so that I can use this movement of my right hand. And also I do a microband for the very same note to make it kind of even more out of tune. And then the next lick is... the second note is actually syncopated. Ta-da-da-ta, ta-da-da, ta-da, ta-da-da-da-da-da-da. Observe also a combination of bands and legato, band on the first string, then pre-band and release on the second, and finally an enclosure around the major third with a hammer on. So, the first 4 bars together again. Actually, I have just played also the second 4 bars. That was our variation of the first question. And the first lick of this variation, well, it starts a bit earlier, so I will try to sing the previous lick to show that. So here is the lick itself. It might seem a bit odd, it is still an A major lick, while the harmony actually stays on D. But that's okay, it's kind of a jump blues thing. There's actually a lot of bluesy solos where you continue staying on the root chord even when the harmony moves to the subdominant. And by the way, for this note, I again do a combination of Bixby and microband. And now the next lick. It starts with a syncopated note. So here we have all of that jazzy bebop goodness, a touch of Mixolydian scale, then an enclosure, and finally these funny repeats. Just remember, in real tempo, slapback should have something like a duration of 8th note, and in this very moment it will actually produce double stops, since when you play E, it will repeat at the same time C sharp, and so on. It will kind of thicken the sound. So, okay, the whole second line once again. And now, finally, we get the answer. Let's again split it into 2 parts. Part number 1 is then part number 2 starts with a syncopated note with Bixby and a microband. So in the end we have this cool thing. So it's time to repeat. So Cliff Gallup did it again, and we have a polyrhythm. You know how to practice this kind of stuff? Just hum triplets and play the chords. Wap, wabba, dabba, 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 dab, dab, wabba, dabba, wabba, dabba, wabba, wabba, da-dam. Not counting the first triplet, which is in anacrusis, we have 5 triplets, here followed by one kind of a normal quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the last part of this lick is sounds like Cliff Gallup probably missed a couple of notes here. Wappa, wappa, da-dam. Or maybe it was intentionally, I don't know. The next lick sounds like this. It's a bit challenging rhythmically, so again try some singing. Wap da da da, wap da da da. And don't forget to use Bixby on these 2 notes, C and G. And then we have some really crazy stuff. What's this? At first I thought Cliff Gallup just might have made a mistake, but after giving a second thought I recalled a typical jazz version of 12-bar blues. In A it might be going like this. Still on A, going to D, in this case D9, D sharp diminished, C sharp minor, F sharp 7 plus 9, B minor, E7, and back on A. So Cliff Gallup was on D. So now it probably makes sense. Looks like Cliff Gallup wanted to play some jazz here, but ended up with a crazy neo-rockabilly tune. So let's repeat this crazy stuff. This was already the next lick. And then continuing it. So once again from E7. And then we have again the Cliff Gallup's Bixby trick. And a bend. And finally the Cliff Gallup's favorite. So, thank you for watching. And before I leave, let's play the whole solo again.